And that's just a few of the things, you know what I mean? Because, you know, he also got charges. He also was on suspension without pay and all that stuff. Whereas, let that happen to an Asiatic or quote unquote black man, and he's like, oh, killed another one, congratulations, you killed a black guy, we're gonna pay you, and you won't be arrested, and everybody's just...
They just don't make it too big by giving them a lump sum, so just give them
hit them off,
paycheck.
Hit them off a little bit, you know what I mean? Just like how one of the Moors, that somebody posted about Tamir Rice mom, talking against Barack Obama or something, for something, you know what I mean? You didn't do nothing or whatever like that or whatever. And then in the comment, he said whatever he said, but he said, oh yeah, by the way, nice coat, because Tamir Rice's mom took the money for her son getting it.
Wow.
Right? Not that she shouldn't take the money, but you know. Son get killed, I take the money. You know what I mean? You don't say, no, I don't want your money. You killed my son. Which should be the response. You know, you take the money. Like, it's really that bad that they killed your son and you took the money? And anybody else who, you know what I mean? Because remember, once they take the money, then, you know, all those charges, whatever stuff on the officer, that's zero, right? Those guys go get another job, you know what I mean? Maybe a higher job. Look at even, there's a highwayman by the name of Brian Rapson, who shot one of the brothers that we know back in like early 90s, maybe late 80s, right over at Progress and Brimley. So he gets shot, you know, like car flipped over, he's in the car, still buckled in. So-called officer said that he was reaching for an AK in the seat because the handbrake was sticking up from when the car flipped. He pulled the handbrake. So the officer saw that, thought that was the barrel of the AK, and shot him twice through the door. It was supposed to be, you know, game over. You know, you'll bleed out or whatever like that. So while he's bleeding out, these guys are in the trunk trying to plant a gun. Even though they said that the AK was at the front or whatever, so they're trying to plant the gun. A lady at Dad's cookies factory was outside on break, maybe about this far, maybe to the door, who they never seen, and then she seen it. She was the witness in the case because the dude lived or whatever. And the witness was that lady. And, you know, the regular thing, you know what I mean? Treat the situation like it ain't nothing, you know what I mean? He was a black guy from a black neighborhood, so, you know what I mean? We have no grounds for whatever who got shot, you know what I mean? Officer gets whatever. And then maybe 5 years later, 6 years later or something like that, it might have even been more than that. He went somewhere, and this is now things coming up in later cases, because after he got shot, you know, hospitalized and go through the whatever, you know, was an athlete, couldn't do his whatever, so turned to the streets, and then when he turned to the streets, he realized that the same dude that shot him is the same guy that was always busting him or whatever, right? So he realized that, you know, okay, there's some kind of conspiracy here or something like that. So he seen the dude somewhere, and in the court case for later drug things or whatever, it came out that when he saw him, he went, the so-called highwayman went into coffee time or something like that to ask another highwayman, let me borrow your gun, because the guy that I shot is outside and I think he wants to kill me.
Wow.
Right? And then luckily, the other guy was like, yo, you know, I can't give you my gun or whatever, like, what are you talking about? Right? And then that came out, and the reason why he didn't have his gun is because after he shot him, he got fired, but then he got a job working with the mayor's office. Not as police now, so it's not like, you know, he has to have a gun, he has to go through the whatever. He just has a different job, still doing, you know, security, kind of, not really, you know what I mean? But, so they look after their own to make sure that these guys get the good treatment when they deal with a quote-unquote Negro, black, whatever. And even if they deal with somebody that's national, with the Sami Yatin, right? They still get a little break because he's doing some house arrest or something like that. He's supposed to get 6 years, but now they're saying that he could appeal and get bail and stuff like that. Who gets sentenced to 6 years, goes to jail for a night, and then on appeal grounds gets bail. Next day, bail. Express bail. How much brothers do you know that got even caught up in some raid or whatever, that they weren't even, the guy who got raided is saying, yo, that guy is not in it. And they're still gonna hold this guy just because. And then this guy is getting, he killed somebody, got charged, got sentenced, and did 1 night in jail. And is free right now. And then that goes back to the whole thing now, because then people are going to say, see, so that means nationality and whatever. But not really, because he was refugee here. If he's refugee, that means he, quote unquote, bought citizenship to be here. Canada is not citizenship. That's private, corporate, ward jurisdiction. So if he comes from wherever and says he's whatever Canadian, oh, his nationality is put on the side, and he's now a ward until he goes back wherever he comes from, and then he can be that whatever Canadian that he claims that he is. And they have that right to do that, right? Which is why they can come here, you know, have store, have that, get his loan, get this, whatever, get that, and then they'll be here forever. But then when you go to the store, teenager running. Oh, you run? What? How come you're running the store? I know you don't. I know you can't be the one that set this up or whatever. Oh yeah, you know, he's gone back to China or whatever. I'm just looking after the store just till he comes back from summer vacation. No, they basically transferred it to them under the guise of, you know, make your millions. Put your stuff in the black community because those are the guys who have the biggest consumer spending capital on the planet. So put anything in their community, don't worry, they'll buy it. Don't worry, just put anything, doesn't matter. 5 different dollar stores, doesn't matter. They'll shop at each one of them for the same stuff.
Yep, the fake tea and everything.
Right? Make them rich, take the riches, go back to wherever they come from, build up their stuff, and come back or whatever, get a loan again, build up something else, transfer it to the next generation, child, or whatever that, make the millions, go back wherever they come from, build up their stuff. Jews, get it, get their stuff, build up their stuff. Oh, sorry, no, we can't do this to you, we can't serve you, you need to be Jewish because do you have your Jewish card so we can recognize that you're Jewish? If not, sorry, we can't do business with you, whatever like that. And then everybody goes with it. Oh yeah, the Jews, they got their own police and they got their own law and they got their own, well, we're Moors, we have our own police. No, you guys don't. Who are you guys? The Jews have their own police, but the Moors know you guys can't have your own police. Or you guys can have your own, you know what I mean, government. Yeah, but the Jews have their own government that they, you know what I mean, they got their own people who are running there. How come? Oh, the Amish, they, you know what I mean, could do whatever like that. They got their own farm. Well, yeah, we got a farm. No, you guys, it's not the same. You guys are different. You know what I mean? So they're gonna look at the victors of the subjugation of our people as they get it. But then when we start saying, okay, well, you know, it's not really about segregation, but it's about, you need to recognize that we're in our own land here. We're not foreigners here. Majority of us never been on a slave ship to even know what the hell you guys are talking about. That we came over here on those. Majority of us been here. Majority of us, you ask us, oh, I got a headache, what can I do? Oh, go around there, pick that bush right there, boil it. That's not African. That's native to here. Anybody and everybody knows, someone goes down, your grandma's gonna tell you, go outside, pick something. Whether it's here, whether it's the islands, or whatever like that. The one's not telling you, go to Africa, get the bush from Africa, and then bring it back so we can make the whatever for you. Because it's here already. And we have a birthright here. And the awareness of our people realizing that they have a birthright here will get rid of all the other garbage that they heaped on themselves, thinking that they're trying to tie themselves to their culture when that's not even theirs.
Yeah, I was watching this movie, the thing is called the Confederation movie, that Civil War movie that just came out or whatever.
The Captain America?
No, it's the Confederate flag movie. I forgot what
I didn't hear about that.
It's called. But yeah, like it was the farmers.
Birth of the Nations?
No, it's new. It's like it's this year, and I guess it say that it was the United States banner against the Confederation banner. The Confederation, they were in power at that time in the movie, and they never really showed them. They showed the army. You know, all the armies were Europeans in there.
Yeah.
But all the farmers, they were Europeans as well, and they were saying that they're tired of these rich people. They're always telling us what to do. We're tired of living like this. And they had a couple like so-called black guys, like so-called rebels, who were looking like them too. Like it was there, and then the guy came to grab a couple pieces of pig, right? And then this so-called white guy came up to him and said, hey nigger, you can't do that. No. And then while he's doing that, the star, he comes over and he looks at the other brother that looks just like him, so-called European. He said, how you know you're not the nigger? Right? And he asked the so-called nigger, are you a nigger? He said, no, man. No, I'm not a nigger.
Yeah.
Right? That's what he was saying in the movie. But long story short is when the battle was happening, a lot of times they're losing and they can't find where to go and stuff, they would always ask the so-called African American ladies them to show them where to go into the woods, where to get to wherever.
Yeah.
But they're the slaves.
They're the slaves.
They're
asking them.
It's not their land, but they know where to go. Right?
They know the land more than anybody else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna get that.
Right. New World Encyclopedia, The Fall of Granada and Its Global Impact. It is said that Muslims annually mourn the loss of Granada, with its beautiful Alhambra Palace and gardens. In Spain, annual festivals commemorate the victory. 1492 was a significant year not only for Spain but globally. It marked the end of Muslim rule in Andalusia, the expulsion of Jews and Christians, and the voyage to the Americas of Christopher Columbus. Right? Check what they said. 1492 was a significant year, not only for Spain but globally. It marked the end of Muslim rule in Andalusia, the expulsion of Jews and Christians. Not Jews and Muslims, as the story is, Jews and Christians. Why? Because by 1492, the Muslims became Christian, or Morisco, or converts. So because they were converted, the history books will present it like, because remember, they also always say Muslim rule in Spain, never Andalusia. They always say Muslim rule in Spain, the expulsion of the Jews and the Moors.